So we're going to start seated today. You can always start on your back, but we'll begin our movement in a seat. So if you just want to start there, that's fine. Just let out a sigh. Kind of our mid-morning break. We can have a little bridge into the afternoon, or those West Coasters can start their day. So maybe just feel yourself landing. Maybe just land those hands palm down in the seat, on your lap, and your sits bones and your ankles on the ground. And then feel the breath filling your body. Each breath, a new experience. Each exhale, a letting go. I have a quote for us this morning to guide our practice, and it's from Charles Bukowski, and it is, "Drink from the well of yourself and begin again." And I love that. We can begin again. Drink from the well of yourself and begin again. So maybe just visualize that breath filling a well that is you. And then we exhale to begin again. Our inhale fills the well that we can draw from. And then exhale, begin again. Let that guide our practice, that whenever we want to begin again, just come to the breath. And this 30 minutes that we have will be our practice for when we're off of our mat. Inhale to fill the well. And our exhale invites us to begin again. And when you're ready, just begin to roll the neck, maybe going down and around or down and back. Getting some circulation in that upper body. And then find your comfortable seat, and let's bring our arms behind us and interlace our hands. And if that's not quite accessible to interlace the hands, then just bring the arms behind you. Maybe you kind of bring them to your hips even and have the fingers face down, or fingers pointing down, and we're just gonna lean forward. And our hands are behind us to encourage us to open up the chest. So that's the point of that. So it's not necessary to have the hands interlaced, but if you do, pull them back, leaning forward. The sits bones can come off the ground. We're just opening the chest. That's the goal. The hands are on the back. Try to bring the shoulder blades together. Now let's come back up, shoulders over the hips. Place the right hand behind us, lift the left arm up. Kind of come back, just kind of leaning a side body stretch. Pause there. And then we'll exhale, bring that left hand behind us, and then we'll lean back towards the back, towards that left hand, the right arm reaching up and over. And then exhale, bring that hand, the right hand to the knee, left hand to the knee, and then send the heart towards that right knee. Go in front and just make some circles over kind of the hips, as if the heart and the shoulders were orbiting the hips. Going in one direction a couple times and then moving the opposite way. Kind of loosening up the neck, the shoulders, the spine, and a little bit of the hips and that lower spine. And then exhale, finding shoulders over hips. Begin again. And then on an exhale, bring those hands behind us. So maybe the fingers point towards the sits bones, or they can just point out towards the edges of the mat. And now bring the feet to the ground. We're going to come to our seated figure 4. So maybe the left foot comes up, or left leg is long, and then we stack that right ankle on top of the thigh, and then press that left foot down. And then just kind of hang out here, drawing that left foot in as close or as far away as you want. Just noticing maybe the outer hip along the outer leg of that right leg, the glutes. Breathing in and out. Another deep breath in. And then we'll exhale, just slowly let that left leg go long. Keep the right ankle on top. And then when that leg is long, bring the right foot down, either on the outside of that leg or on the inside. Bring the shoulders kind of over the hips. Bring the left hand towards that right knee, and then we're going to twist towards the right. So moving from our figure four to a seated twist. Inhale. And then exhale, bring the heart back to the middle. Let that right leg go long. Maybe move the neck around a little bit. And then bring that left ankle on top of that right thigh. Bring the right foot to the ground. And here we're in our seated figure four on the left side. So adjusting the hands closer to the sits bones if you want. Foot closer to the glutes. Finding the perfect little Goldilocks spot to feel what you want or need to feel on this side. Maybe a gentle rock side to side to bring some awareness, or just find that steady stillness. And on an exhale, just gently bring the right leg long, and sliding it along the mat, the left foot on the outside of the leg or on the inside, right hand to the knee, lift up, lengthen through the spine, inhale. Then exhale to twist. The left hand comes behind, you can glance over the left shoulder. Kind of waking up from the hips up today to start us off. And now exhale, bring the heart, the shoulders back to the middle. And now let's find our way to downward facing dog. So however you want to get there, maybe along the way you move through a cat-cow, or maybe you come right to downward facing dog. And when you find your downward facing dog, bring the feet nice and wide. And maybe bring the hands wide. And let's pause for a couple of breaths when you're moving side to side with the hips, with our limbs nice and wide, kind of changing the load today. And then on an exhale, just find your normal downward facing dog. And feel into that downward facing dog. Let's breathe in. And then we'll exhale. Let's inch by inch, walk the feet towards the hands. So we kind of feel our shoulders starting to stack over the wrists. We can bend the wrists as much as we need to, coming onto our fingertips as we walk the hands between, our feet between the hands. And then we'll hang. Exhale. And let's inhale up to kind of a neutral spine, expanding out the crown of the head, moving the hands to the thighs. And imagine you're peering over the edge of a well. And then we'll dip into that well inside of ourselves. Bend the knees, exhale, begin again, coming into mountain pose. Hands come to the side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold it forward, halfway, hands come to the thighs, peek over the edge of that well. Exhale, fold it forward, Uttanasana. And then inhale. And a deep exhale, step the feet back, downward facing dog. Find your feet grounded, maybe your heels come down. And then we'll bend the left knee and then bring that right leg to sky. Maybe bend the knee, stack the hip, open that hip up, and then maybe make a circle around in both directions, opening up the hip. Then exhale, bring the right foot down, ground through the foot, bring the left foot to the sky, bend the knee, stack the hip, bring that chest towards the thigh. Sometimes when we have our three-legged dog, we tend to kind of come forward. And that's not a bad thing, but try to keep that chest reaching for the thighs if we bring in a circle into the mix here. And let's bring the left foot down. From here, we'll breathe in. Exhale, begin again as we lower down onto our forearms, coming into dolphin. So let's pause in dolphin pose. We're gonna really work into the shoulders today, building some heat in the shoulders. Exhale. And then we'll inhale and just breathe as we walk our feet towards the elbows and kind of pause whenever you feel like that's a good spot for you. The shoulders maybe over the elbows, and then reach the chest towards the thighs and just feel the sensation in the arms. Breathing in and out. Exhale. Then we'll inhale. Let's walk the feet back, coming into a flat back, into our forearm plank. Shoulders over the elbows, hips lift. Heels reach for the back wall. We'll breathe in. Breathe out. And then exhale, lower down the knees, tops of the feet come to the earth. Lower down the tops of the thighs, the hips. And then exhale as we find our Sphinx pose, Shalamba Bhujangasana. Maybe notice a little relief. Hands can be palms down and the hands can be together in prayer. Energetically pull the elbows towards the hips and the hips towards the elbow. Notice how that low back responds. Shine that heart through. Breathe in and out. Maybe closing the eyes. And then we'll exhale, lift the hips, bring the hips over the knees, come back into puppy pose, rest on the forearms, melt the heart down, maybe close the eyes and the forehead, rest on the earth. And drink from the well of yourself. And begin again. With each exhale, begin again. The inhale fills the well. Let's breathe in. Exhale, sigh. Inhale, glance up at the hands. And then come with the shoulders over the elbows. Let's walk the knees in just a little bit. And then when you're ready, get that base with the palms, the hands, the elbows, and then curl the toes and lift the hips up, back, and maybe the heels come down or they reach for the ground. And then here's our dolphin pose. Ardha Pincha Mayurasana. Breathing in and out. And then we'll inhale to inch our way forward, feet walking forward, maybe with the shoulders stacking over the elbows. Get those feet as close as you can with those shoulders still stacked. Breathing in and out. Another breath in. Now exhale, bend the knees and then come on to the hands. So we're kind of in a downward facing, or we are in downward facing dog, but our feet and hands are really close. And now walk those hands, or the feet towards the hands, coming into a forward fold at the front of your mat. Bend the knees and then interlace those hands behind us, behind the back, or on the hips. Make sure we're breathing. Let those shoulders open as we pull the hands to the sky. Now exhale, bend the knees. Let's rise up nice and slow. We've been inverted for a long time. Let that fresh blood come to the head. Nice and slow as we rise. Arms to the sky. Head comes up, stacks over. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, and let those arms float to the side. And now feel that balance as we're standing upright now with our head over the heart. Breathe in. Exhale, bend the knees. Let's reach up for the sky. Ground that front foot, step the right foot back. Coming into a crescent lunge for just a breath. Inhale. And then exhale, pivot that heel down, opening up the arms. Maybe finding warrior two. Finding a nice big stride, step between the feet. Sink the hips down, bend that knee, that front knee as much as is comfortable. And we're gonna open up our arms nice and wide. And then exhale, sink into the hips. And we'll exhale, hinge at the waist, sitting that left arm on the inside of that left leg, reach up for sky. If you're adjusting the space between the feet, the arm can come really close to the ground. And let's exhale, bring it up. Hands come to the hips, pivot the left foot towards the corner of the mat. The right foot pivots towards the corner, finding goddess. Opening up our hips here. We can inhale to bring the arms out. Exhale, bring them down. Bring the arms out. Now exhale, hands come to the hips. Let's pivot our feet in, heel toe the feet in. And if you want, come down into Malasana or sumo squat. So we can either come all the way down in our yogic squat, or we can stay a little lifted. Let's be here for 5 breaths. Maybe we press the elbows into the knees and we kind of lean forward on the balls of our feet as if we're peering over the edge of a well. Maybe we sit back on our heels a little bit and breathe. Drink from the well within yourself and begin again. Now, when you're ready, an option to come into crow pose, bring those hands to the earth, shifting the weight into the hands. The triceps are like a shelf. Maybe we bring our big toes together and we can glance towards the earth. And then while we're here, an option to tap those toes down and then draw those heels towards the glutes, activating that low core, or you can just be steady in your crow. Let's do this for 5 breaths. Whether you're in crow, maybe you're in a forward fold, or you're tapping down. And then we'll meet back in Malasana. Just like we came in, sit it back, connect with yourself. And exhale, begin again. Inhale. Exhale, close the eyes, go within. On an inhale, let's rise all the way to stand. And float the arms down to the side. Pivot the feet so they face the front of the mat. Now, wherever you're at on your mat, ground down. Let's inhale, arms come up. Exhale, fold it forward, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, find a flat back. Let's reset here as our hands come to the thighs. We extend through the crown of the head. Now peer over the edge of that well. Maybe the weight is shifting into the balls of the feet. And then exhale, fold all the way down. Plant the hands, step the feet back, wherever you're at, to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Savasana. Inhale and exhale. Now exhale, lower down onto the forearms if you want. You can stay in downward facing dog if you prefer that. And then we're gonna walk those feet close to the elbows, or if you're in downward facing dog, walk them close to the hands. Feeling those shoulders stack a little bit over the elbows. And then an option here, you can bend those knees, hover over the ground, draw the belly button into spine, and then bring them back up. So the sit bones come up. Now do that a few times on your own breath, or you can pause in your downward facing dog or your dolphin. You can be still, and you can add some movement. And now the next time that you come up with the sit bones to the sky, walk the feet back. So you're kind of in a normal dolphin or a normal downward facing dog. If you're a dolphin, lift up those forearms, find your Adho Mukha Savasana, and then step the right foot forward between the hands, pivot the left foot down, and we'll come into our warrior 2 on the other side. When you're ready, bring the hands up and out and ground the feet, bend the knee, and exhale to begin again. Imagine this was the first time you've done your warrior 2. Breathe in. Exhale, hinge forward so that right hand comes on the inside of that right knee. You can adjust that left foot closer to the front, or that front right foot, reaching up for the sky. Engage that core, opening up the hips. Inhale. And exhale, bring those arms out. Exhale, hands come to the hips. And maybe pivot the feet so they face forward, and then turn those heels in so the feet face out towards the edges, the corners, and then come down our goddess squat. This time we're going to bring our arms out and then hands up like our cactus or goalposts. And then we'll come over to the right elbow, hovering over the thigh, and then reach over with the left hand for a little side stretch. Exhale back to Utthita Konasana. Left elbow towards the left thigh, arm reaches up and across. Exhale back to goddess. Maybe noticing the heart rate line a little higher today. Bring the hands down. Straighten those legs. Let's pivot our feet towards a long edge, setting up for a wide-legged forward fold. Another inversion, lots of inversions today. Purifying the body. Our transition into fall, kind of burning off the summer, transitioning and purifying. Let's inhale, our arms come up and out. And then tilt the hips as if we were dropping a bowl of soup out of the hips. Sits bones out, let's fold it forward, but reach that right hand towards the left shin, the left arm reaches high. Exhale, let's rise up. Begin again. And then on an exhale, bring that left hand towards the right shin, right arm reaches high to the sky. And then exhale, bring the arms out, side to top. Hands come down to the hips. We're gonna come back into Malasana or Sumo with the option for our crow with toe taps. So find your Malasana, set up in Malasana for maybe 2 or 3 breaths before you come into that crow. And in the crow, maybe 5 breaths. You can tap the toes if you want. Always the option for sumo squat. Just filling the well that is yourself. So we can have that as a resource. We tap into ourselves. If you're tapping in crow, make sure that low belly is drawn in, mid belly, upper belly, really grounding with the hands. And then we find Malasana when we're done. Coming back to Malasana, drawing everything inward. And then let's exhale, bring the hands behind us, bring the feet in front. Nice and long with the legs, and find the shoulders over the hips. Exhale, bring the hand to the heart. Breathe in. And then we'll exhale, maybe bend the knees and fold it forward. Or Paschimottanasana, letting the hands go, maybe on the side of the legs or on the shins. Hold the chin to the chest. Have the spine nice and long before you round. Breathing in. Exhale. Then a deep breath in. Exhale to roll the shoulders over the hips and begin again. And sigh at the top. Let's bring our feet to flex towards our face. We can bring the hands beside us. And now let's just bring the heel and the right leg up and down. So we're activating these hip flexors. So just gonna lift and lower. Draw the belly button in. Try to keep that back nice and flat. Lifting up and up. Maybe the leg starts to shake. And exhale, lower. Shake it out. Maybe give it some love. And then we'll do the other side. So the legs are long, flex the feet. And then the left leg, lift it up and down, maybe 7 times again. The belly button is drawn in. This is really good for our hip flexors, tops of our legs, low abs, low belly. Little shake and bake, and lower that heel down. Hallelujah. Let's bring our heels to the ground, knees to the sky. Maybe kind of rock side to side, bring those hands behind us. We wiggle the shoulders. Moving through a Navasana to make our way down to the floor. Palms shine up, rock it back. Let's draw our knees in, and then extend the legs long, hip flexors again. Let's draw our knees in, tap our fingers together around in front of the shins, and then extend long, recline back. Bring the knees in, fingers tap. We'll do this like 6 more times. Really noticing those hip flexors and the low belly. Opening up the heart and the chest. 3 more times. I wasn't counting. Gotta be honest. 2. 1 more. Let's hold. Now hold the breath, but hold the pose. So we're breathing. And then exhale over the ankles. Begin again. And then let's lower down. Making our way to our backs. Lowering the low back, mid back, upper back. Collapse on the ground, let yourself go. Melt for a moment or 2. And now bringing the entire body over to the right side. We'll bring our feet towards the left corner of the mat. Our hips stay in the middle towards our right side. So everything was on the right side. Now just move the ankles towards the left corner. Arms come up overhead. And then sweep the arms and maybe the shoulders a little bit towards that left corner of the mat for our Bananasana. You can bring that right foot up to cross the left if you want. Opening up the side body a little more. Maybe the left wrist finds the right, or the left fingers can clasp around that right wrist and pull the wrist a little. Allow this to help us relax. So without strain, but just with some ease. And we'll exhale to uncross the feet, release the wrists if we had that. Bring the legs and everything back to the right side. Let's reset, let that spine be neutral, maybe hug the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. And then bring everything down to the floor. Maybe move over to the left side of the mat. And then when you get there, bring the feet towards the right corner. Stack the left leg over the right. Arms come up. And then arms and shoulders go towards the right side. Creating that space in the lungs and the side body. And a little lateral flexion for the spine. We close the eyes. Exhale, release, bring the hands back towards the side, ankles towards the side, hug the knees into the chest, and then make your way to Shavasana. And in your Shavasana, just imagine yourself filling, being renewed as our practice integrates on every level, deepening the well from which we can drink to offer ourselves what we need to begin again. Over and over and over again. Endless beginnings, endless agains. Maybe letting out a sigh. And sinking even more into your Shavasana, even more into this refill and renew. And whenever you're ready, you can roll to one side and come up to a seat. You can stay in Shavasana and come right up to a seat. We'll bring our hands to our hearts. Exhale. Inhale. Om Shanti. 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 Om. Namaste.